rounds, the All-Stars maintaining a slight edge, and for the All-Stars, first on the ice, 27-year-old Diane DeLue, second in the 1976 Olympics to champion Dorothy Hamill. Skating to the theme from E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
And with a very lovely costume.
We are observing your herd and we'd like to make a contact with you. Ready?
In amateur competition, vocals are not permitted, but as this is a professional competition, there's a great deal more freedom in the choice of music.
Calling Occupants, the Carpenter's song. When she calls home, it's to her husband, Doug Chapman. They are teachers of skating in Southern California. Raised in the United States, but she competed internationally for Holland and 6 times the champion of that country. 1975 champion of the world, Diane DeLue.
Certainly improved since last year. She's controlling her shoulders better in the jumps. She's letting her personality come through while she's skating. And if she bent her skating knee just a little bit more, she'd be sensational. Superb extension on that spiral. $17,000 at the Capitol Center. Well done to Diane DeLue. Miss DeLue obviously recovered from that Achilles injury of last year.
Jojo Starbuck and Ken Shelley.
Now the popular pair of Jojo Starbuck and Ken Shelley. They've selected the familiar Clair de Lune by Debussy.
A reminder that we're in the artistic phase of the competition. The judges' marks will be based on musical interpretation, the innovativeness of the choreography, and the overall artistic impression.
Jojo and Ken. They've skated together for 23 years. Their relationship, like this music, has been close and loving.
She is like my closest and dearest friend because we went through absolutely everything together as children and as young adults. We saw each other at our very lowest points, I think, and our very highest points.
I'm so glad that I was a pair skater a lot of times because it's been so much fun being with Kenny and having all those experiences to share with someone, which a solo skater doesn't always have.
I first saw them in 1972 when they were an Olympic teammate of yours, Misha Petkovich. I've never seen them skate more beautifully.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Dick.
With Misha Petkovich, Dick Enberg, welcome back. The All-Stars have the lead here in the third round of the competition, and they have taller Cranston on the ice.
He's a strong contender for the All-Stars team in this artistic phase of the competition.
Skating to the Mephisto Waltz, remember Toller's score will be combined with his teammates, Diane DeLue and Jojo Starbuck and Ken Shelley. Toller Cranston, a skating champion, he has fought to be different.
I don't want to be a machine. I've always fought against being a machine, and yet the very fact that skaters spend as much time as they do on the ice turns them into a machine, so there's a dichotomy there. I can't stand the thought of being a machine.
There's no danger about Toller Cranston being a machine. He's always different.
Uh-oh, but he came out of that well.
One aspect of being a true professional, being able to recover out of any situation gracefully. Of all camel variations, the Cranston camel has to be my personal favorite.
Cranston.
He's always special, Tyler Cranston. Now let's check on his problems with that one jump.
It's a triple sow cow, and he leans a little bit too far over the toe pick on the takeoff, and consequently cannot control the landing.
9.80, 9.87, 9.77, 9.80, 9.83, 9.83, 9.87. The average score for Diane DeLue, Jojo Starbuck and Ken Shelley, and Tyler Cranston, 9.83.
So the All-Stars, the leaders, score 9.83. The Pro Stars, with a chance to draw close, send out the brother-sister pair of Val and Sandra Bezics. They'll skate to Gershwin's classic Rhapsody in Blue.
Look at the unison on that pair camel. Their legs are perfectly matched.
This crowd at the Capitol Center, 17,000. Performance after performance in this competition, spellbound.
Footwork as well as the jumps should carry the music. That is, they should match in character and expression.
The Pro Stars, Charlie Tickner, the first U.S. man to win an Olympic medal since 1968 when he earned the bronze at Lake Placid. He has chosen Frank Sinatra's battle song, My Way.
In the technical phase of the competition, he did a terrific program. We expect to see the same thing here.
The final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, traveled each and every highway. More than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I guess you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew.
He's really a fluid skater, so smooth, even on his jumps and even on the difficult footwork. Look at the height on that axle.
Charlie Tickner, the 1978 world champion, now the star of Ice Capades. Had he skated with this excellence in the 1980 Olympics at Lake Placid, Tickner might well have won that elusive gold medal.
But now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all wrong. And may I say, not in a sorry way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way.
Beautiful triple toe Wally. Even though this is the artistic phase of the competition, the judges expect that these programs are built on a solid technical foundation.
Tickner's way was flamboyant, and it was flawless. They're on their feet again.
Charlie Tickner.
Charlie's double axel. Look at the height and how easy the rotation is and such a smooth landing. And the second one, watch, he lifts into the air first, then rotates and comes out in a beautiful landing position.
The Bezics and Tickner, two outstanding performances. And now for the Pro Stars, that precious skating commodity, Janet Lynn. Miss Lynn will skate to Johann Strauss's Blue Danube Waltz. Remember, Janet is skating with a serious injury to her right knee. She considered having to withdraw from the competition, fell in the first phase of the competition.
Double axel, magnificent. That is what she had trouble with in the first program, and this time there was no difficulty at all. We often talk about how Janet Lynn is a great skater in every respect, but there are perhaps two traits in which she excels even the superlative. That is her ability to interpret music and the incredible gracefulness of her movements.
You can see it. She's happy herself.
Deservedly so.
Misha, I love Janet Lynn.
She is absolutely terrific, Dick. Once again, that double axel, in which she had difficulty in the technical program. Now watch how beautifully this is executed. She lifts into the air, rotates, and lands with complete confidence.
Janet. Beautiful. So beautiful.
Judges tabulating the scores of the pro stars, the Bezics, Charlie Tickner, and Janet Lynn.
I have to tell you, those were three of the most terrific performances I've ever seen.
Thank you.
The crowd here at the Capitol Center obviously agrees.
9.87, 9.93. 9.90, 9.93, 9.93, 9.90, 9.93.
Deservedly, those are the best scores of the competition.
The average score, 9.92.
So the difference after 3 rounds is a microscopic 1/100th of a point. Here's the 3-time Canadian ice dance champions, Lorna Wighton and John Dowing. Music by Santa Esmeralda's their choice, a cha-cha.
They chose that music with one of the rules of the competition in mind, and that is that the music and theme of the dance will be Latin in character.
Capitol Center crowd enjoying this high-energy performance by the ice dance team of Lorna, Wighton, and John Dowing, now starring with Ice Capades. Their amateur career culminated in 1980. Third straight Canadian championship. They finished 6th in the Olympics.
Delightfully done pull through.
This huge crowd enjoying that spirited performance from the All-Stars Lorna, Wighton, and John Dowing. They've given their team a solid start today.
A program full of interesting maneuvers, including the pull-through, a legal dance maneuver, which of course would not be seen in a prepare program, consistent with the character of the music, and one of the highlights of their program.
Skating for the All-Stars team.
And now for the All-Stars, John Carlow with an encore of his show-stopping performance in last year's competition as he works to Charlie Daniels' The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
This boy knows how to play to an audience. There's no question.
Sharpen up your skates and play your fiddle hard. Cause if you make just one mistake, the devil's got the card. Now if you win, you get a shiny crystal made of gold. When you lose, the devil gets you so.
You happy watching him.
A terrific personality.
John Carlow, star of The Great Ice Odyssey, close friend of Linda Fradiani since 9 years of age. They've grown up skating.
Up for an axle, and it's a tuck axle. What an interesting variation.
The folks all said when they heard that sound, they ain't nothing like that on earth. And the devil, he just shook his head and stroked his bearded chin. His face turned red as he finally said, that boy's the best there's ever been.
At every member of that audience and dares them not to get involved.
Well, he has 17,000 fans in the palms of his hands right now. all-star effort from the All-Stars, John Carlow.
John always makes every maneuver dazzling, and the butterfly sequence is no exception. Instead of doing just one butterfly, he does 3 in a row. Not that one is difficult enough on its own. Watch how he's parallel to the ice and in fact is almost upside down on the last one.
Now let's check the scores.
Are 9.90, 9.90, 9.85, 9.90, 9.90, 9.90, and 9.90.
The scores of Wighton and Dowing with John Carlow. The judges throw out the high and low, an average of 9.90. This competition remains not only close, but of exceptional quality. The Pro Stars, remember, trailing by an infinitesimal 1/100th of a point, now send out the Hungarian champions, Christina Regotszi and Andre Chalet. This exciting pair will skate to Ravel's Exotic Bolero.
As they are an ice dance team, their program must be, in every respect, a dance.
Music popularized in the motion picture 10. Of course, that's their goal with this performance at 10. Christina has choreographed this program, told us how much she enjoys the artistic freedom that accompanied turning professional.
The artistic aspects have grown so much, and there are so many other things that we can use, which were like in the amateur skating, it was more sporty, and it was only the music and the choreography. And now, besides the music and the choreography, there is this little art part that you can put in with facial expressions and the costumes and everything else.
A very physical presentation, isn't it, Misha?
It is physical. It has drama, it's abrupt, and of course its Latin character satisfies one of the rules of the competition.
Christina Regotszi and Andre Chalet, the 1980 World Ice Dance champions, the silver medalists in the 1980 Olympics. A powerful presentation.
And within that very sensuous program was this exciting wraparound into a swan position, consistent in character with the music.
Now on the ice, 42-year-old Donald Jackson, the world champion 21 years ago. His score will combine with that of Regotszi and Chalet's.
You know, Dick, he's a terrific sportsman. After such a long layoff, he's come back to compete with these great skaters. He really is a tremendously good sport.
And he's given all of us a chance to appreciate a link with history. 1962, the Triple Lutz in Prague. Who will ever forget? American in Paris, Toronto's Donald Jackson, third in the 1960 Olympic Games. Then 2 years later in Prague, that historic Triple Lutz to win the World Championship and a place in skating history.
Look at that double axel. You know, his jumping ability hasn't left him. I think he's really happy to be back on the ice.
Well, I know all of the rest of the competitors are thrilled to have him a part of this competition because he has given them a sense of their history and from whence they came.
Double axel with the arms crossed, and he did it. Terrific.
From Toronto, Canada, Donald Jackson.
Jackson.
And now the scoring. Look, Judge 5. That's David Jenkins at 10 for Regotszi and Chalet. And now the combined totals.
The scores for Christina Regotszi and Andre Chalet and Don Jackson: 9.80, 9.80, 9.80, 9.85, 9.90, 9.85, 9.85.
That's a 9.83, so Wighton and Dowing, along with John Carlow, have given the All-Stars the edge by 8/100ths of a point. And the All-Stars begin the next round with Dorothy Hamill, the effervescent former Olympic champion. Audiences have had a running love affair with Dorothy Hamill for nearly a decade. She skates to the beautiful ballad, Perhaps Love.
She's such a special skater to all of us, and it's because her joy of skating is so apparent.
Love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort, it is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home.
Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer, it wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through.
Oh, love to some is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel.
For some a way of living, for some a way to feel.
And some say love is holding on, and some say that it's...
Audiences do love Dorothy Hamill, and for her, it's a shared experience.
The audience is the most important thing, because really that's who you're performing for, especially in the professional competition, because it's not just technical. It's professional, it's entertaining, and the people are who you're supposed to be entertaining with.
And entertain us, she does.
And some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love...
She's part of a rich American skating heritage. Winning the Olympics in '76, she followed Tenley Albright, Carol Heiss, one of the judges of this competition, and Peggy Fleming, gold medalist.
My memories of love will be all you.
What a delightful program from a charming personality. This crowd applauding again. What a rich experience this competition has been. We've had the total range of skating thrills. Another look at the beauty and grace of Dorothy Hamill. An admiring young fan among the 17,000 here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland.
Do a good one.
And a shot of encouragement to her all-star teammates, the two-time Olympic champions, the Russian pair of Ludmila and Oleg Protopopovs.
The history of skating right here, from Don Jackson to the Protopopovs, the 60s, 70s, and 80s represented in this particular competition.
And Misha, the judges panel, we have world and Olympic champions from the 40s and 50s. That's 5 decades of greatness.
Absolutely incredible.
They always bring drama to the ice.
There's certainly always a story behind their programs. In this particular case, it's about a man who recognizes the mortality of earthly existence, but also appreciates the immortality of the human spirit.
The music of Rachmaninoff. This husband and wife team now make their home in Switzerland. They didn't win the Olympic gold medal in '64 until he was 31 and she was 28. They repeated again in 1968.
One of the important aspects of the Protopopov skating is that every move is choreographed and every move is carried to its natural conclusion. And there's Dorothy Hamill entranced.
In the audience, current world champion Scott Hamilton, Elaine Zayak of the United States. They join in the standing ovation, the greatness of the Protopopovs.
The Protopopovs' final move. Ludmila representing the mortality of earthly existence. Oleg, the man who recognizes that although his human spirit will live on, his body will pass away.
Let's take the scores. 9.95.
Yes.
9.90. 9.90. 9.85.
Oh, they didn't? Oh, no, dear. Oh, good.
9.95.
That's nice.
9.95. And 9.95.
Not bad. It's okay. It's okay.
With the difficult task of trying to match the sensational performances of the All-Stars Dorothy Hamill and the Protopopovs, the Pro Stars come back with Linda Fradiani, silver medalist in the 1980 Olympic Games at Lake Placid.
A young lady who's found new joys in skating professionally.
Miss Fradiani has selected the haunting hit song from the musical Cats, Memory, sung by Barbara Streisand.
As this is the artistic phase of the competition, the emphasis in this program is on artistic impression, remembering, of course, that artistry without technical expertise is not good skating.
Fradiani, world champion in 1977 at the age of 16. Now 22 years old, a star of Disney on Ice.
Skating is all about bent skating knees, straight free knees, pointed toes, arch back, and in every category, Linda has made improvements since last year.
Nicely done, Linda Fradiani. Miss Fradiani's memories of Lake Placid are cast in silver. She finished second to Annette Putsch of East Germany. The 1980 Olympics spelled disappointment as well to Linda's pro-star teammates, the pair of Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner, who were forced to withdraw due to an injury to Randy. Interestingly, they too have selected music from Cats, the Jellicle Ball.
Oddly enough, this program was not only choreographed by John Nix, their former coach, but also with the help of Sandra Bezic, their teammate.
When Ty and Randy won the 1979 World Championship, it was the first time that a U.S. pair had accomplished that feat since 1950, when Carol and Peter Kennedy won the World Championship.
That was an interesting time in the history of skating. That was when pair lifts made the transition from hand to underarm to hand to hand.
Ty means beautiful, tranquil. Oh, how she is at 21. Randy just 2 years older. One would think they will only improve.
Side-by-side double Salchows, a singles move, which is also a very important aspect of pair programs.
Abalone and Gardner, now stars of Ice Capades.
Terrific throw axel. Randy had to skate alone due to an injury to Ty. It looks to me as though he's happy to have Ty back with him. Randy's throw axle, a combination of a singles jump and a pair lift. Ty does the axle, Randy propels her into the air.
And now the scores.
9.85, 9.90, 9.90, 9.90, 9.90, and 9.85.
That's an average of 9.88, so the All-Stars maintain their lead, but it remains extremely close. The final group number coming up should decide the championship. That's the team of All-Stars, and they're ready now for the group number. Remember, they enjoy a slight lead in the competition. Anya Robertson, she designed the group number costume.
A reminder that each team consists of 10 members, of which only 8 are permitted to participate in the group number. For the All-Stars, it will be Ludmila and Oleg Protopopov who will be cheering from the sidelines.
It's not how you go, it's how you land. 100 to 1 shot, you call him a klutz. Can outrun the favorite, all he needs is the guts. Your final return will not diminish, and you can be the cream of the crop. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, and you're gonna finish.
For the last 2 years, this competition has been decided on the group number. And the All-Stars, I'm sure, feel a little bit of pressure to do their best at this point in the competition, even though they are in the lead.
I would think it'd be more difficult going first. That gives the other team a chance to study, compare what they're going to do. In essence, one is really mirroring the performance of the other, isn't it?
That's very true, Dick. And they're watching, I'm sure, very closely to see if the All-Stars will club up along the way.
Your final return will not diminish, and you can be the cream of the crop.
Part of the difficulty here, especially for those who skate solo individually, is that in a short period of time, just this week, they've had to put together the articulation of this group number.
And of course, that's a very important part of the final mark. The cohesiveness of the team effort weighs heavily on that final mark. These skaters spend so much time working on their own skating programs that it's really remarkable that they can get together and produce this kind of team effort.
And it's all under considerable pressure. Remember, the winning team members, individual or pairs, $20,000 if they win the championship, $10,000 to the losing team members.
Choreography for both of these numbers is virtually the same. It was done by Teddy Shuffle.
This crowd of 17,000 at the Capitol Center enjoying it thoroughly.
Kick line, always a favorite with the audience.
Group program, it's a challenge even to these great champions. So, to the delight and acclaim of this crowd, the All-Stars have completed their group number. Will it be judged good enough to hold their lead? Well, the Pro Stars will be challenging next. The Pro Stars are ready. If they skate up to their strong rehearsals, they might well win the championship.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. It's not how you go, it's how you land. 100 to 1 shot, you call him a klutz. Can outrun the favorite, all he needs is the guts. Your final return will not diminish, and you can be the cream of the crop.
And for the Pro Stars, on the sidelines is Don Jackson and the injured Janet Lynn.
And you're gonna finish on top. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. It's not how you go, it's not how you go, it's how you land.
Well, Misha, they're about 1 minute into this 5-minute program. How do they look to you?
Well, they look very good, Dick. They're controlled, they're cautious. I don't think they want to make a mistake.
Your final return will not diminish, and you can be the queen.
The 8 team members, 3 pairs, and it's Charlie Tickner and Linda Fradiani forming that 4th duo. Where the All-Stars had a little trouble.
And the Pro Stars breezed right through it. There'll be 2 marks for this particular number, one for technical merit and one for artistic impression. The judges will base those marks on the quality of the skating, musical interpretation, the skater's inventiveness within the context of predetermined choreography, and the interplay among the skaters.
And in that latter category, Misha, that interplay between the skaters, you have a feeling that this team is doing very well.
They certainly are.
Again, to remind you, the Pro Stars on the ice now have trailed, however slightly, throughout the entire competition. But with this strong performance, they're going to put pressure on the leading All-Stars. You know, as much as we've enjoyed the individual and the pair greatness in this competition, this group program really is a refreshing finale to punctuate what has been a total skating experience both for the performer and the audience. Well, they can breathe easier now, Misha. The tough part is over.
That's right. They're moving up to the final few seconds here, and they've put on a very strong performance. I think they knew it.
If the judges react the way this audience is, the Pro Stars may have rallied to win the competition.
And we now call all of our skaters to the ice. All of our skaters to the ice, please.
Here are the All-Stars. What a tremendous effort they've given throughout the competition and led through all the early phases, the artistic, the technical, down to this group number.
And there's that fraternity we were talking about, that tremendous closeness between all the skaters, regardless of which team they're on.
Well, you combine that with that judges panel and all the gold medals and world championships across the way, and what we see on the ice. The Hall of Fame of skating, ladies and gentlemen, and now they await the final word.
Champions of the 1982 World Professional Figure Skating Championship for the Avon Cup, the Pro Stars.
They pulled it out. The Pro Stars from behind with the group number are the champions.
An incredible last-ditch effort.
So, along with additional performance fees, that means $20,000 to the Pro Stars in blue for the championship. And for the All-Stars in red, each individual and pair earns $10,000.
All-Stars.